I am so excited to be here today and visit and teach you a few things. I'm Cassie from Bonanza Education Center. Some of you may remember me from visiting Bonanza last fall, or I might be a brand new face to some of you, and if so, nice to meet you. Either way, I am so thankful to be here to get some Bonanza programming to you, even if I have to do it from my own home. The thing that I am especially thankful for is this big planet and everything on it. From the clouds up in the sky to the worms deep in the soil and everything in between. Many people say that the earth is our mother. What do you think this means? Luther Standing Bear of the Oglala Lakota tribe said, "We sit in the lap of our mother. From her, we and all other living things come. We shall soon pass, but the place where we now rest will last forever." Let's take a minute to pause this video and discuss with your group what they think he means by this. Up with some ideas together? I think what he's saying is that we humans are going to pass right through this world. We don't live forever, but the earth does. She's here long before us and will be here long after us. A long time ago, even before the first Thanksgiving, over 400 separate North American Indian groups existed. Each had their own distinct set of values, beliefs, cultural practices, and languages. Some of these languages were as different as English to Chinese. Despite their differences, many of these tribes had very similar attitudes and beliefs towards the environment. All these tribes had a great respect for nature. They did not see nature as something separate from themselves over which they had control over. Instead, they perceived themselves as part of nature, dependent on it for survival. In a sense, the earth was seen as the mother of all living things, who must be treated with respect and loving care. Do you think this is exactly what Luther Standing Bear put into words like we just talked about? Everything on earth was part of one family, and each living creature depended on one another to survive. It was important to remain in the right relationship with the rest of the natural world. A harmonious balance with nature was a way of life for American Indians. Teach your children what we have taught our children. The earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the son of the earth. This we know. The earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. All things are connected like the blood that unites one family. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. This is a quote from Chief Seattle of the Duwamish tribe. The ideas of the earth as a living whole made up of interrelated and interdependent living and non-living parts is readily accepted by ecological science today. From an ecological perspective, people are just one strand in a web of life, entirely dependent on the continued existence of other parts, and we are not the most important strand, even though we like to think we are. We could not exist without air, water, plants, and animals, but they could certainly survive and probably thrive without us. As many Native Americans perceived, and as we realize now today, the earth is a living planet with limited resources upon which we depend. How we use these resources and how we treat other living things on earth, how we define our relationship to the earth has had and will continue to have a far-reaching, irreversible effect on everything on the planet. We are going to play a little game. Your teachers have cards to scatter around the room, and you will have a bag or a container that will represent your own ecosystem. Are you ready? You're all going to pretend to be new explorers in a brand new, uninhabited world. To survive in this world, you must find all the essential elements of a self-contained environment, which you will put in your bag. Each card that you grab will represent an element. You will collect one element at a time and put it in your bag, then return to grab another until all the cards are gone. Gather around the cards in a circle and put your ecosystem or the bag or container that you have on the ground by your feet. Remember to only pick up one card at a time and bring it all the way back to your bag before grabbing another. When all the cards are collected, go back to the circle that you began in and stand above your ecosystem bag. Go ahead and pause the video and we'll do this and press play again when all the cards are collected. All right, I'm back, which must mean that all of the elements have been collected and everybody is standing in a circle. Now I've got more directions for you, and it might throw a wrench into your plan. To survive in this new world, you need one card of each sun, air, water, land, plants, and animal. Without all of these elements, you're gonna die. Now you must trade with the other explorers in your class until you have one of each of these 6 elements. You can trade with whomever you want for whatever or how many you want. You may have more than one of each element, but you have to have at least one of each. When you are through trading, return to your place in the circle. These are the list of elements that you are going to need. Go ahead and pause the video so you can see the screen while you trade. So that must mean that the trading is done, but I bet that not everybody has a complete ecosystem, do they? Go ahead and take a seat in your spot in the circle and have a second to organize the elements that you have in your ecosystem or your bag. I've got a few questions that I want to answer together as well. Pause the video and answer these questions as we go. How did you guys feel during this game? What are some of the things that you learned? How easy or how hard was it to form a complete environment? What other things are found in a real environment? Are the elements that we used in this activity today really necessary? Let's try this activity again. Everyone bring their cards back to the middle of the circle. Let's shuffle them up a little bit, and just like before, you're going to collect all the cards one by one, bringing them back all the way to your ecosystem. Going to grab another one. When everybody has all the cards collected, you're going to trade again with one another. The difference is that this time, you are going to be able to have up to 3 explorers in your environment. So you get to be in teams of 3. Go ahead and begin, and let's see what happens. If you do it right, there will be enough elements to go around. Some teams might end up with more resources than they need, but everybody is going to have enough. Go ahead and begin. Pause the video and press play when everybody is done trading. Back. How did round 2 go? Was it easier or harder? Were there enough resources to go around? Did some teams hoard the resources? How else might this game be played? Could we all share one environment? Would there be enough resources to go around if we did share? Now think about this. Do we have enough resources to go around on Earth? Let's think back to the idea of Mother Earth that was embraced by Native Americans and the ecological concept of a living planet. How do we depend on Earth for survival? Where does everything we use, eat, and wear originally come from? Could we make all of these things in a factory or a lab? Would we want to make these things in a factory or a lab? Many Native Americans treated the earth and everything on her as sacred. What would the world be like today if everybody treated the earth like this? And the plants and the animals like brothers and sisters? I would love to hear how you think things would be different if everybody treated the earth like this. So go ahead and grab a piece of paper, write down what you think would be different, and turn that into your teachers. Anyways, thank you so much for letting me hang out with you today and teach you a little bit. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather that we are having. And hopefully soon I get to see you face to face and in person. Enjoy this long weekend and take care. Bye.